too. There's growing tension, as I understand it, between the Treasury and Alistair Darling on one side and Gordon Brown and Number 10 on the other.
Well, it's a systemic tension, isn't it? Because Gordon Brown would always, in an ideal world, want to be his own Chancellor. And particularly in a crisis like this, then the Chancellor will want to be his own man. So it's a systemic tension. But
I think the tension has erupted. I mean, I think Diane's right, it's been there for a while, but it's erupted more recently because, again, as I understand it, and some of the papers have also been writing this, Gordon Brown is desperate to have another fiscal stimulus in the budget in April the 22nd, I think it is, post the G20, no matter what it means to the deficit. Whereas the Treasury, which really doesn't like Mr. Brown anymore after being run by him for 10 years, and Alistair Darling, who is now part of the Treasury, they say, no, our budget deficit is big enough already, we don't want another fiscal stimulus.
Well, firstly, I'm sure the budget deficit is going to turn out to be a great deal larger than has so far been predicted.
Even without a stimulus.
Even without the stimulus. I mean, I would have thought 12% of GDP is quite probable this year. And if it's 12% of GDP this year, it's quite probable that it will be higher last year. Now, these are proportions that we have never seen in peacetime before. And
even in wartime.
And remember that it's not just this country that's trying to borrow money. Most of the countries of the world are increasing their indebtedness. There's only so much money that can be lent to governments.
You can print it.
They're doing that.
That's what I'm saying. No, they're printing it.
They are doing that, but you need...
Not to finance the deficit.
You need to fund the deficit. And if there's a limited amount of money to fund the deficit, the money will only go to those countries that look as if they are fiscally sound. And so I think what we're going to see is one country after another actually is going to have to get its finances in order. So I think, you know, Brown is dreaming here.
Will Alistair Darling stay as Chancellor of the Exchequer? In other words, will he be kept in his job until the election?
I think they might as well now. Things aren't going to get much better.
I hear rumours that he's saying that if he's moved, he'll do a Geoffrey Howe. Now we move on. Here in This Week, we're just one big happy family. As you can see, I'm never happier than when I'm clasped to the bosom of Auntie Diane. And, of course,